Okay? Now, for the final part, the second half of B2, we'll call this B2b, plate B2b. We've already done the top part, and we're going to complete the bottom side. Bottom side is actually fairly easy, probably easier. You're just going to practice using a combination of some different tools. Okay, in problem number 4, it says that we're going to draw cutting plane lines, and it even gives us an example of what a cutting plane line looks like. We're going to draw those parallel to the line given through the points. That means parallel means the lines have to run exactly parallel to the given line. If you check that, you're going to find that that line is an exact 45-degree angle, so it's a pretty easy fix. All you have to do is come up and just through the given points start drawing cutting plane lines, and it's that simple. So that one is a fairly easy problem to take care of. I'm going to slide down. I'll just keep sliding the 45-degree angle. And I like to try to keep them pretty even so everything looks, so the plate ends up looking nice and clean. Make sure that you draw your lines nice, dark, crisp. And then one more, because that's all it's given us, is just the 2 lines. We're going to make it look like that, and that activity's done. Clean it up a little bit. If you have any lines that you've drawn over, you can use your eraser, kind of clean those up a little bit. Use your brush to clean it off some. And we're going to go to this activity. Activity 5 says it wants us to draw 5 visible lines. Visible lines, just like just the solid lines, visible lines perpendicular to the given line through the points. So when we do that line perpendicular, you got to remember that perpendicular is just lines that meet together and form a 90-degree angle at the point where they meet. So we need that 90-degree angle. Now, if I use my 45-degree angle, you're going to see that that doesn't create that that 90 degree that we're wanting there. And if I use my 60-30, either way, you're going to see that it's not the perfect 90-degree angle either way. It doesn't matter how we turn it, we're not going to get it. So I'll tell you the trick here is, and I'd like for you to try this a little bit, so if you would pause the video right now and give it a try, I want you to try to see if you can figure this out. Okay, if you've paused it and you've come back, I'm going to show you. You're going to slide your T-square, keep it squared up. The 45 is going to go along the T-square, and you're just going to take your 60-30 angle and you're going to lay it in tightly there. It's kind of tough. You've got to manipulate all 3 tools, but you're going to see that if you draw these lines, and you're going to draw the lines through the points to the given line is what it says. So we're just going to draw visible lines, and I'm going to slide it. And you can see, and I'll check it in a second to show you, but that's that 90-degree angle that we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is slide. Be really careful to make sure that your T-square and all of the tools stay nice and even. Some people I've seen that like to even cheat this a little bit, and it's okay if you want to do that. They'll take a little tiny piece of masking tape and put it on these 2 tools, on the 45 and the 60-30 square angles, just so they stay together. But I think you can do it if you just slide them along. And that's activity 5. And if you look, I get a 90-degree angle here on the back side of this, and if I check it, sure enough, there are my lines perpendicular to the given line through those given points. And then the very last activity on B2 is I'm going to do the same thing, and I want you, like I said before, I want you to try it first. So pause the video, pause the tape, and see if you can figure this out. But what we need to do, we need to draw visible lines, the same kind of line, parallel to this line. So they're going to be parallel to the given line through the given points. So we're just going to draw from line to line through these points. You're going to notice again that that's not a 45-degree angle, not really a 60-30 angle. Okay, if you've paused and you've tried it already, all you're going to do, we did the 60-30 angle on this side the last time. All we're going to do is roll the 60-30 to this side of our 45, and then you're going to see that that is the exact same angle there. So all I've got to do is line it up and just go ahead and draw my lines, and sure enough they end up being perfectly parallel to that given line. Just draw it, make sure that I draw a line. Whoops, uh-oh. See, that'll happen too if the points don't stay lined up. It's the thing I like about doing these videos. You're going to see that even I can't do it perfect every time, but I will make a fix. And then I go to that point and I got to hold everything down nice and tight. And there. And trust me, I'm not going to edit that whoops out because you'll make little accidents too. And I just want you to see that it's, if you make a little whoops there in one of your tools or your pencil slides, all you have to do is take your eraser and clean it up as best you can. And I'll go back and try to clean that up a little bit better in a few minutes. But I'm going to draw that parallel line through every one of the points. Here we go. And I've kept it clean. I haven't overlapped any of the lines, and now I can go back and I can clean that up a little better. And I'll brush it away, and I've got that cleaned up pretty well, I think. Like I said, I'm only human. If I make a mistake, I'll try to come back and fix it. And I fixed that line, and that looks pretty good. And that's activity B2b, actually, because that's the second half. And if after you complete that, make sure that you go around and clean everything up. You want to have this activity looking as clean as you can before you hand it in. And that's all for that one.